In this video, I want to talk about the science of gaining mass, or in other words, how do we even get fat? To get leaner, it's important to understand the thing that you must remove from your body: fat. The way you gain fat is scientifically the same for everyone. When you understand the process that makes you get fat, you'll have a better understanding of what it takes to lose fat. So let's start with fat. What is fat? The primary function of fat is to act as an energy storage system. Fat is more than just something you don't want to see on your body. It's a substance that you can touch. Figure 1 shows replicas of a 1 pound mass of muscle tissue versus a 1 pound mass of fat tissue. The muscle tissue is on the left and the fat tissue is on the right. If you cut your body open and perform an autopsy, you'll be able to see the fat that's in your body. It's a substance that's filled with millions of fat cells, and each fat cell shrinks or expands based upon the amount of energy it stores. So that poses the question, how do you get fat? When you gain any appreciable amount of fat mass, there is only one main thing at play: your body's energy balance. Your body's energy balance expresses the relationship between the calories you take in and the calories that you burn out. When you eat, you take in calories. When you perform your normal functions like breathing and walking, and when you exercise, you burn out calories. When you take in more calories than your body needs, it's called a calorie surplus. When you're in a calorie surplus, your body metaphorically turns on a switch that tells it to begin storing fat. This resulting added amount of mass makes you gain weight. When you give your body fewer calories than it requires, it's called a calorie deficit. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body metaphorically turns on a switch that tells it to prioritize the release of fat. This resulting release of fat mass makes you lose weight. When you give your body the exact number of calories it needs, it will try to keep the fat mass that it has, and theoretically, you will neither gain nor lose weight. The phrase calories in versus calories out is often used to simplify this energy balance phenomenon. To understand this phenomenon more, let's begin with calories. What are calories? Calories are a measure of energy. Your body needs energy to survive. To get your needed energy, you must provide your body with calories in. Your calories in is a function of the food that you eat. To measure the amount of energy in food, food scientists used to place food in a device called a calorimeter. Food was then heated and its energy output in calories was measured. Measuring the amount of energy in food and obtaining the number of calories it contains was done for well over 100 years. Today, food scientists use the Atwater system. To make it more convenient for you, these caloric values are found on the back of food packages. You can also find these values using large accessible databases on the internet. The problem with calories, however, is that you can't see them or touch them. They serve as a proxy or something that we can just use to figure out the amount of energy we get in or burn out. So, to understand how calories can make you get fat, you must understand what happens when you consume food. So, how does food make you get fat? Food is a function of three main macronutrients: carbohydrates, sometimes called carbs, protein, and fats. This program dives deeper into each of these macronutrients later. In a perfect world, you will be able to put a piece of food on a food scale, break it into its individual macronutrient components, and then measure the weight of each macronutrient in grams. Unfortunately, the world isn't this simple. The total weight of a food's macronutrients doesn't equal the total weight of the food. So you can't weigh a food's macronutrients using a food scale. Regardless, each macronutrient has a measurable number of calories. Carbohydrates and protein have around 4 calories per gram. Fats have around 9 calories per gram. For example, if a single piece of food has 10 grams of proteins and carbs and 10 grams of fats, it would have 170 calories. You would take the 10 grams of carbs and multiply it by 4 calories, plus the 10 grams of protein, multiply that by 4 calories, and you would take 10 grams of fats and multiply that by 9 calories to get your total of 170 calories. Alcohol is another source of calories. It's not essential for energy, growth, and bodily function, so it's often considered a non-essential macronutrient. Alcohol has around 7 calories per gram. In short, when you consume any excess amount of any combination of carbs, protein, fat, or alcohol, you can consume too many calories. If these calories put your body into a calorie surplus, it will make you get fat. And since it makes you get fat, let's talk about the conversion of food into fat.